Once again, Donald Trump's trademark hubris is on full display. When asked about his second term, Trump told The Atlantic, quote, "I run the country and the world," end quote. Well, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney begged to differ as he declared victory in federal elections late last night, saying his country would never yield to the United States.
America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never, ever happen.
Charlie, what does that say? I mean, you're a former member of Congress. You've worked with our Canadian allies in the North, our Mexican allies in the South. What does it say when the newly elected Prime Minister of our friend to the North in Canada saying essentially, hey, these guys are no longer to be trusted. These are people who want to break us so they can own us. What does it say now about this relationship and what it may mean for us as Canada looks elsewhere to trading partners, geopolitical partners, et cetera?
Well, this is a tragedy, and I understand why Mark Carney is saying what he's saying. His country has been mocked, it has been insulted. It's grotesque. And you remember when Trump won, he imposed tariffs on Canada, steel and aluminum, in the name of national security. You know, I went to Normandy. The American cemetery visited. The Canadian one is right down the road. Mm-hmm. They were with us. I mean, these are our closest friends and allies. The trade relationship we have with them is mutually beneficial. And now he's put us in a situation where they're talking about even going to the EU or other arrangements. But again, it's the shattering of trust, the breaking of relationships. And to what end? Our dearest friends. Why would this doesn't make any sense to anyone? He did not campaign on annexing Canada. Right.
I don't remember that speech at all.
But it's so insulting to them. I understand why they're saying what they're saying. I wish it weren't that way. But how do we put this back together again? That's the question. I don't know how we do this.
I don't know, Ron, how we do it either, because the financial impact is going to be real as Canada, Mexico look to do their own free trade kind of arrangement. Then both of those countries look to Europe, look to Asia, to develop their own pipeline. The U.S. is not involved in any of that. What does the economic landscape look like if America, as everyone is projecting, gets further and further isolated financially?
Look, I truly and sincerely believe that if you go back to 2015 and you listen to folks like Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller and others, this is part of a much larger plan to disengage really from the rest of the world in economic terms, in geopolitical terms, in military terms. The president has often said he'd like to leave NATO, although has not brought that up recently. They want to reorder the post-World War II architecture so that the United States although this is not possible in modern times, to become completely independent of other entities, other countries, continents, however you want to characterize them, and move us to a period more akin, as the president keeps discussing, that was like 1870 to 1913, when he believes the U.S. was at its most powerful and its richest, which is not the case at all. We are currently the most powerful and the richest nation on the planet. But there is this bizarre philosophical fixation with that period, with tariffs, paying for the elimination of the income tax, which is virtually impossible. I think you have to kind of zoom out and take a look at the larger picture of not only the president, but the people around him who really want to reshape the global order. And it's a very strange and in many ways, I think, extremely disturbing mindset.
You know, 1913 America, Maria. it just gives you all the warm fuzzies to know that we're living. He wants us to live in 1913 America. I want to play for you, though, some sound from Trump supporters at a rally today on his first 100 days regarding the economy. And I have a question for you on the other side. Let's quick listen.
What do you make of his first 100 days?
I'm glad. I don't like that I lost money or retirement, but I figure that's going to come back. So,
how confident are you that the stock market will come back?
I'm confident that President Trump has our best interests.
I don't know how much of that you were able to hear, but basically you had Vaughn asking, what do you make of his first 100 days? Deb, the woman we saw there, I'm glad I don't like that I lost money or retirement, but I figured that's going to come back.
There is such a blind faith from Trump supporters that this is going to be part of the pain that he promised, but on the other side, there's going to be paradise. I have to say, I'm so glad that Ron brought up what is the playbook that the Republicans that Trump and those folks that surround him, what they're trying to do. It is this idea that America's best when we're completely isolationist. They skip over the part that it was our engagement that actually created the modern day world order. And have you ever played Risk?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
It's like if you play Risk and if you haven't, go dust it off, play it right now, because then you're going to understand that that's all they're doing.
Right.
They're literally shuffling different pieces and saying, you know what, we're going to annex Greenland and Canada and take back the Panama Canal. And then you go ahead, China, go ahead and have Taiwan. And Russia, you do whatever you need to be doing, because these are the players now. And if we pay close attention, this is where we need corporations to actually come back and have a spine. They have so much to lose in this idea of isolationism, because they're not going to be calling any shots.